Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Yeah, thank you. So, in the last session, we have seen about the various pin configuration of IC 555 timer. So, we have studied that in IC 555 timer, there will be 8 pins. Pin number 1 is meant for ground. All the voltages will be measured with respect to pin number 1. Pin number 2 is nothing but a trigger pin. Pin number 3 is the output pin. Pin number 4 is the reset pin. Pin number 5 is the control voltage. Pin number 6, threshold voltage, threshold. Pin number 7 is the discharge. And pin number 8 is meant for positive supply voltage. Okay, so we have already discussed about what is the internal structure of this IC 555, what happens whenever voltage across particular point, that is at pin number 2 or pin number 6, goes beyond a particular level, what is the different states of these comparators, and depending upon the output of these comparators, the output of this IC 555 will be either high or low. Okay. So now we will discuss about, first of all, one of the applications of this IC 555, which is a stable multivibrator. So now here you can see that for this IC 555, pin number 4 is connected to plus VCC. We have already studied that whenever we are not going to use this reset pin, we will be shorting this pin to supply voltage. Okay, we should connect this pin number 4 to the supply voltage here. That is at pin number 8, where we are going to apply the supply voltage. Then pin number 5, which is the control voltage pin, which is basically used to change the pulse width of the output signal generated. Now, if we are not going to use this pin number 5, then we should bypass that pin number 5 to ground through a capacitor of 0.01 microfarad. So as you can see here, between pin number 1 and 5, we have connected a capacitor of 0.01 microfarad, and it has been grounded. Okay, am I audible? My voice is clear now? Okay, so let us try to understand. Now here RA has been registered. RA is connected with pin number 4 and 7, whereas a register, one more register RB is connected between pin number 7 and 6. So as you can see here, we have shorted pin numbers 2 and 6, and in between pin number 7 and 6, or pin number 7 and 2, we shall connect a register RB. Then between pin number 6 and ground, we have connected a capacitor here. Now let us try to understand how this circuit will work. Okay, now as soon as the supply voltage has been applied across the circuit, what will happen? The capacitor C will start charging towards VCC through resistors RA and RB. Okay, now as soon as the voltage across this capacitor reaches to 2/3 VCC, it will stop charging and it will start discharging. Okay, now when capacitor is charging, the output of this timer will be high. Whereas as soon as the voltage across this capacitor reaches to 2/3 VCC, the capacitor will stop charging and it will start discharging through resistor RB, that is connected to pin number 7, and at pin number 7 we know that there is a transistor inside there at pin number 7. So the RB will start discharging through this pin number 7. So here you can observe here, if you visualize here that there is a resistor and a capacitor at pin number 7, then this capacitor will start discharging through this pin number 7 and internal transistor Q1. Okay, so now during this time the output will be maintained low. So here you can see that whenever the capacitor is charging, the output of this timer will be high, whereas once the capacitor start discharging towards 0, the output will remain low. Now, as soon as the voltage across this capacitor reaches to one third VCC, the capacitor will stop discharging and again it will start charging through RA and RB. So, this process will repeat itself. Okay. Now, the time during which the capacitor charges from one third VCC to two third VCC is nothing but the time for which the output of the circuit remains high and is given as T on is equal to 0.69 into RA plus RB into C. Now, once the capacitor charges to two third VCC, the capacitor will start discharging and the output will be switched to low. Now, the time during which the capacitor discharges from two third VCC to one third VCC is equal to the time for which the output is low and is given as T of, that is 0.69 RB into C. Okay. Therefore, the total time period of the output will be T on plus T off, that is 0.69 into RA plus 2RB into C. Therefore, the frequency of oscillation F naught is given as 1 upon the total time period T, which is equal to 1.45 divided by RA plus RB 2RB into C. Okay. Now, the most important concept here is the duty cycle. The duty cycle is nothing but it is the ratio of the time during which the output remains high to the total time period of the output signal. So it is given as T on divided by capital T, that is the total time period, that is the sum of on period and off period. Okay, got it everyone? Okay, so now I will show you one animation here so that it will be easier for you to understand the operation of this circuit. Okay, okay, so as we know that it is an IC555. Okay, so an unstable multivibrator has no stable output state. It produces an output that switches back and forth between two states. Okay, thus it provides a square wave at its output. Now, see here, this is the circuit for this stable multivibrator. You can see here where RA has been connected here between pin number 8, that is VCC, and pin number 7 here. Then RB is connected between this pin number 7 and pin number 2, and again this pin number 2 and 6 have been shorted together, and at this at this particular node where pin number 2 and 6 have been shorted together, a capacitor is there, that is of particular value. Okay, now inside the timer there will be two comparators. There is a series string of 5 kilo ohm resistors. Three 5 kilo ohm resistors have been connected in a series, and a voltage of VCC has been applied across this series combination. Then there will be two comparators here. Then the output of these comparators have been given as input to this flip flop, and output will be depending upon the state of the comparators. Now, see what happens when the supply voltage is applied to the multivibrator. Initially, the capacitor voltage across capacitor will be 0 volts. Okay, and output of this upper comparator is low. Okay, now whereas the output of this comparator B will be high. Okay, why? See here, because the non-inverting terminal of this comparator B is at 1.65 volts, whereas the inverting terminal is at 0 volts. Why? Because the initially capacitor is is not initially charged. So the voltage across this capacitor is 0. Therefore, the voltage at this inverting input terminal of this comparator B will be 0. Therefore, the output of this comparator B is high. It will set the flip flop. If it sets the flip flop, output Q1, Q will be 1, Q bar will be 0. So it is been inverted by the inverter and the output of this timer will be high. Okay. So it will turn on the LED. So initially when the capacitor is in the discharge state, the output is in the high state. Okay. Now we will apply power across the circuit. So as you can see here, the capacitor will start charging through RA, RB towards VCC. Okay. Now once the capacitor starts charging, whatever is the voltage across this capacitor will be available at pin number 2 and 6. Okay. Now see here, capacitor will be further charged. Okay, from 0 volts. Now what do you observe here? See, as soon as what we have assumed here is the supply voltage applied across the circuit is 5 volts. Okay, so the voltage is here at inverting input terminal of comparator A will be 3.33 volts and voltage at the non-inverting input terminal of this comparator B will be 1.65 volts. Now see here, when the capacitor will be charged to this voltage equal to 1.66 volts, then what will happen? The output of this lower comparator, which was initially high when there was no charge on the capacitor, then the output of this comparator will be switched to low, because of which what will happen? It will set the flip flop. Once it will be the set, initially it was set, so it will now 0. Now further this capacitor will start charging towards VCC. Okay, now see here, once the voltage across this capacitor reaches to two-third VCC, that is it goes beyond this 3.33 volts, then output of this upper comparator will be high. So once it is high, then it will reset the flip flop. If it resets the flip flop, this Q bar will be what? It will be 1, correct? So if it is 1, then output of this the Q bar has been given to this inverter and then it will be switched to, output of the timer will be switched to low. Okay. See, and the capacitor will start discharging through this resistor RB and this transistor Q, which is there in the at pin number 7. Once the voltage across capacitor tries to exceed two-third VCC, that is it tries to go beyond 3.34 volts, then it will start discharging through RB and this transistor Q, which is there inside this 555. Okay, so now see here, capacitor will be discharging through this transistor Q and resistor RB. Okay. So what will happen now? The output of this upper comparator will be low. This discharge transistor will be in the high state. Now, because of which the Q bar will be low. आता काय होणार? When whatever was the capacitor's voltage, it was 3.33 volts. Now it has started discharging. आणि आता परत काय होणार, जेव्हा कपॅसिटरच्या अक्रॉस व्होल्टेज हे 1/3 VCC ला येऊन पोहोचेल, तेव्हा लोअर कंपॅरेटरचं आउटपुट परत हाय होणार. Once it will be high, then what will happen? It will set the flip flop. Means what? Q bar will be low. Q bar is low means what? This low terminal will be given to the inverter. Means what? The output of this timer will be high. And once the output turns high, the transistor will be turned off. So capacitor will not discharge further. Okay. So again this capacitor will start charging from that 1/3 VCC toward 2/3 VCC. So everyone understood this? So this is how this stable multivibrator works and how it charges through RARB. What happens whenever the voltage across this capacitor tries to exceed 2/3 VCC? What happens when the voltage across capacitor falls below 1/3 VCC? And depending upon the voltage across this capacitor, the output of this timer will be switched on or off. Okay. So if you want, I will paste the link of this in the chat box so that if you want to try to understand once again, you can go through it. Okay. I have posted the link in the chat box for this stable multivibrator. Fine. Any doubt now? So this is about a stable multivibrator. We have already studied how we can design this stable multivibrator. So the next application of this IC555 that it can be used as a monostable multivibrator. Okay, that is it will be having one stable state, and here we need to give a triggering signal to this pin number 2. In a stable multivibrator, it does not require any triggering pulse in order to start the operation. That is why it is also called as a free running multivibrator. Okay, but in case of monostable multivibrator, we need to apply triggering signal to this pin number 2 in order to change the state of the output of the multivibrator. Okay, now here you can see there is only one resistor here which is connected between pin number 7 and 4. Okay, pin number 7 and 6 have been shorted together, and capacitor has been connected between pin number 6 and ground. Again, we are not going to use this pin number 5, so it will be bypassed to ground through a capacitor of 0.01 microfarad, as well as pin number 4 will not be used, therefore it has been connected to plus VCC. Okay, now what happens? Initially, when the output is low, that is whenever the circuit is in the stable state, the transistor Q1 will be in the on state and capacitor will be shorted to ground. Okay, whenever we apply a negative trigger pulse to this pin number 2, the transistor is Q1 is in the turn off state, which will release the short circuit across the external capacitor C and drives the output high. Okay, now as soon as we apply the triggering signal to this pin number 2, the output of this timer will go to high state. Okay, therefore the capacitor will start charging towards VCC through resistor RA. When the voltage across the capacitor will be equal to 2/3 VCC, again upper comparator, the output of the upper comparator uh, will switch from low to high, where which will in turn it will drive the output to its low state via the output of the flip flop. Okay, where that is whenever this capacitor will be charged to 2/3 VCC, what will happen? The output of this timer will be low. It will be switched from high to low state. Okay, now when this happens, the output of the flip flop turns the transistor Q1 on, and therefore the capacitor C will start discharging through that transistor. Then the output of the monostable will remain low until a trigger pulse is applied once again. Okay, therefore the cycle repeats itself. So in this circuit, if you observe here, when we apply a negative going pulse to this pin number 2, the output of this timer will be high. Therefore, the capacitor C will start charging towards VCC. So once the voltage across the through RA, once the voltage across this capacitor reaches to 2/3 VCC, the output of the upper comparator will be switched to low to high, which will cause the output of timer to switch from high to low. So if you see here, once the capacitor reaches to voltage across this capacitor reaches to 2/3 VCC, the output of timer switches to low state. Now it will remain in the low state until and unless we apply triggering pulse once again. Okay, this does not happen in case of unstable multivibrator. Unstable multivibrator, even though we do not apply any triggering pulse, the cycle will repeat itself. But here, in order to get the output high, we need to apply a triggering pulse to the pin number 2. Okay, now here, since the discharging time period is very low, it is neglected here. Only the charging time period has been given as 1.1 into RA into C, because the capacitor charges through resistor RA only. Okay, got it? जोपर्यंत आपण ट्रिगरिंग पल्स देत नाही तोपर्यंत आउटपुट हाय होत नाही. ओके, आणि एकदा का ते कॅपॅसिटरचं व्होल्टेज 2/3 VCC ला गेलं तर आउटपुट ऑफ टायमर विल बी स्विच टू लो and it will remain in the low state until and unless we apply the triggering pulse once again. Okay, got it everyone? Understood the operation of monostable multivibrator? Okay, so this monostable multivibrator can be used in frequency divider circuits. It can be used in pulse stretcher. Okay, So let me see whether we have animation for this available. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay. So as you can see here, this is the circuit arrangement for the monostable multivibrator. So at pin number 2, we are going to apply some triggering signal here. So, so it is basically a one-shot multivibrator which has got one stable state and its output is normally at logic 0. So if once we apply the triggering input, the output will be high. Okay. So initially there won't be any charge on the capacitor which causes 0 volts to be at the non-inverting input terminal of comparator A. Okay, there is no voltage available at the non-inverting input of this comparator A when capacitor is in the discharge state initially. Now, because of which the output of this upper comparator is low. Okay, and once when it is low, along with that the output of lower comparator is also low. The output Q bar is high and the timer output is also low. Okay, the transistor, because of which the transistor Q will be turned on. Okay, and keeps the capacitor unchanged. So the output of this timer will be low initially when the capacitor is in the discharge state. Okay, so can anyone answer this question? What is the output produced by a comparator A? Whether it will be high or low? For the given condition where the non-inverting input terminal is at 0 volts and inverting input terminal is at 3.33 volts, what will be the output of this comparator A? Whether it will be high or low?
Low.
Yes, it will be low. Very good. Now, what is the output produced by the comparator B? Here, what will be the output of this comparator B? It is high or low? See here, the non-inverting input terminal is at 1.65 volts and inverting terminal is at 5 volts. Then output will be high or low? Non-inverting input is at 1.65 and inverting it is at 5 volts. Then output will be high or low? Will it be high? What about others? What do you think? What will be the output here? High. How? Inverting input terminal is at plus 5 volt, whereas non-inverting is at 1.65 volts. नॉन इन्व्हर्टिंगचं व्होल्टेज हे इन्व्हर्टिंग पेक्षा कमी आहे. डिफरन्शियल व्होल्टेज पॉझिटिव्ह असेल का निगेटिव्ह असेल? VID is V1 minus V2, correct? That is voltage at non-inverting minus voltage at inverting. And it will get amplified. So if it is negative, the output will be also low, na? How can you say it has to be high? Or it will be high? It has to be low only. Correct? Are you getting this or not? तुम्हाला हे कंपॅरेटरचं ऑपरेशन नाही कळालं तर मग कसं होणार? त्यावर तर सगळं ऑपरेशन डिपेंड करते टायमरचं. Okay? Now when the push button is closed, the trigger input goes from a plus 5 volt high to a 0 volt because it is shorted to ground. Okay. So once I press this push button here, आता मगाशी मी तुम्हाला जे कंपॅरेटरचं लॉजिक दाखवलं होतं तिथं काय होतं, इन्व्हर्टिंग टर्मिनलला 5 व्होल्ट होतं. आता जेव्हा हे पुश बटन आपण प्रेस करू म्हणजे आपण जेव्हा ते ट्रिगरिंग सिग्नल देऊ तेव्हा काय होणार, हा इन्व्हर्टिंग टर्मिनल ग्राउंडला शॉर्ट होणार. त्यामुळं output of this comparator will be now high, correct? Initially it was low when it was connected to plus 5 volt. Once I give this triggering signal at this inverting input terminal or pin number 2, it will get shorted to ground. Therefore, the voltage at this inverting terminal will be 0 and the output of this lower comparator will be high. Okay. Now, so once it is high, it will set the flip-flop, correct? So it will be output of this flip-flop Q will be 1, Q bar will be 0. Okay. So it is output will be Q bar will be low, which will be inverted and the output of timer will be high. Okay. Getting it? So when we push this push button, output of this lower comparator will be high. Therefore, Q bar will be low and output of timer will be high. Okay. Have you understood this? How the output switches to high? Are you getting this or not? Yeah. So हा क्यू बार जेव्हा लो क्यू बार जेव्हा लो असेल, हा ट्रान्झिस्टर काय होणार मग ऑफ होणार, बरोबर आहे. इनिशियली तो ट्रान्झिस्टर ऑन होता, का बरं? कारण हा क्यू बार हाय होता. क्यू बार हाय असल्यामुळं ट्रान्झिस्टर ऑन स्टेट मध्ये होता, त्यामुळे कपॅसिटर हा आपला शॉर्ट झालेला, त्याच्या अक्रॉस काहीच व्होल्टेज नव्हतं. पण जेव्हा आपण इथं पुश बटन प्रेस केलं तेव्हा ह्या क्यूबार आउटपुट क्यूबार विल बी लो because of which this transistor will be in the off state now. Okay. Now the capacitor will start charging. Okay. Through RA. When the push button switch is not pressed, give this answer. When the push button switch is not pressed, the voltage applied to the inverting input of comparator B is how much? हे पुश बटन आपण नाही प्रेस केलं तर इन्व्हर्टिंग टर्मिनलला व्होल्टेज किती असणार आहे? तर +5 व्होल्ट असणार आहे, करेक्ट? Next, the output of comparator B is dash when the push button is not pressed. When the push button is not pressed, the output of this comparator will be definitely low because inverting input terminal will be at plus 5 volts, non-inverting it as 1.65 volt. Therefore, the output will be low. Very good. Now, the flip-flops Q bar output changes when both R and S inputs are low. That is, the flip-flops Q bar output will change when the both the R and S inputs are low, or it will not change. Will not. Correct. Because both are low. So there is no output here. Very good. Now, a low at Q bar output causes the buffer to go high. That is, the output of this timer will be high. The transistor will be switched off now. And the capacitor will start charging towards VCC. Okay. As soon as the voltage across this capacitor reaches to 2/3 VCC, that is equal to 3.34 volts, the output of this comparator goes high. Okay. So this capacitor will now start charging towards VCC. Now once the voltage across this capacitor reaches to 2/3 VCC, output of this comparator will be high and it will reset the flip-flop. Once it resets the flip-flop, the state of this Q bar will switch from low to high. Therefore, the output of this buffer will be switched from high to low. That is, the output of timer will be switched to low. Once the capacitor voltage is equal to 2/3 VCC, output of timer will be switched to low. Okay. Once the output of this timer switches from high to low state, again this Q bar will switch on this transistor Q and the capacitor will start now discharging through this internal transistor Q. So once the capacitor discharges, the output will remain low till we apply the triggering signal once again at the pin number 2. Okay, got it everyone? Understood the operation of this monostable multivibrator? Okay, so can you answer these questions? A low at the flip-flop's Q bar output causes buffer to go high or transistor to turn off, both A and B. Which is the correct answer here? If Q bar is low, then output of this buffer will be definitely high, as well as this transistor will be turned off. Correct? So both A and B, I think. Next question. With the discharge transistor off, the capacitor begins to, it will start charging or discharging once the transistor is in the off state. Capacitor will be allowed to charge or discharge when the transistor is in the off state. Yes, it will start to charge. Very good. When the top plate of the capacitor reaches to 3.34 volts, the output of comparator A goes low or high? What will be the output of comparator A whenever the voltage across capacitor reaches to 3.34 volts? It will be high, correct? High, because the voltage at the non-inverting terminal will be greater as compared to that of the non-inverting input terminal of this comparator A. Therefore, the output of this comparator will be high, which will reset the flip-flop. Once it resets the flip-flop, Q bar will be 1. Q bar is 1 means output of timer will be low. Q bar is 1. Output will be low. Q bar is 1 means transistor will be in the on state. So capacitor will start discharging through this transistor. Therefore, the output will remain low. A low at the R input and a high at the S input causes Q bar of the flip-flop to go. It will be low, correct? It will set the flip-flop. So Q bar will be low. A high at the Q bar output causes Q bar जर high असेल तर काय होणार? Output of buffer will be definitely low and transistor will be turned on, correct? With the transistor off, the capacitor will be charged. Okay. So this was about the monostable multivibrator. So I'll put this link in the chat box for your reference. So I hope you have understood both the multivibrators, a stable and monostable multivibrator. So if there is any doubt, you can ask me or we will stop here. Okay, so I hope that there are no doubts. Even though there are any doubts, you can ask me. So we will stop here today, and tomorrow we will discuss about PLL, that is phase lock loop. Thank you. Have a nice day.